Good morning, leaders and consultants. This is Juan Carlos from JAFRA Westlake. I wanted to give you a small review of the reports that are available today for you to close your month in the month of April. We are constantly working in improving these reports. These reports still have some information that we are developing, but they have the basic information that you can use to be able to close your month. So I just wanted to take you through a couple of screens to make sure that it's clear to everybody where to find the information and how to use this data. I'm going to be using our ambassador's Gabriela Gutierrez's account. She gave me her permission to share her screen. You will see some names and numbers covered, but the data is real data from her entire team. So let's dive in and take a look at the two main reports that I will be looking in closing my month. So let's start by getting started. So what I did is I clicked on my business account and I selected sales and sponsoring. That took me to the sales and sponsoring screen. Below this graph, you will see a summary of the retail sales, paid retail sales, and the number of consultants sponsored in the month for your district. Now, the two important numbers, or the most important numbers that we will review today are your personal, basically how much you have placed in retail orders and paid, because you know that as a manager, you need to have an order of $300 or more. And we are going to be reviewing the central branch and the central district. For the central branch, if I click on the central branch, that's going to give me the list of all of the consultants in my central branch. You will see some numbers at the bottom, in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it continues, because it only displays 10 consultants at a time. So you can take a look at each one of these consultants one by one. Okay, so what you have here is on the first column, it tells you whether the consultant is personally sponsored or indirect to you. And then if he has a 2, it's a consultant that you personally sponsor. If he has a 3, it's somebody that is indirectly sponsored. Then it tells you the title of that consultant. Everybody's going to be a consultant except for you. There's going to be the leader, their consultant ID, their name, their phone number, their email address, and then the retail sales for the month to date and the paid retail sales for the month to date. Those are two important numbers because this allows you to see who has not placed an order. So you can call them to place an order, and also if somebody hasn't paid, you can also call them to make payment on that order as well. Okay? And also you can see a column that's called right now new sponsors. That is basically the list, a flag that shows you which consultant is new from your central branch. So if I go to this arrow, I click on the arrow and I select 1 to 4 and I filter, it's going to show me the 5 consultants who have joined JAFRA in the month of April. So these are the new consultants that you can call and contact if they have not placed an order yet. So this is the main screen that allows me to take a look at consultants in my central branch, who has placed an order, who hasn't placed an order, and who do I need to call. By the way, on the top of these screens, there is an export to Excel, if you happen to know Excel, or an export to PDF if you want to get a flat file that you can then have a hard copy on it and print it at your house. Otherwise, you can always use the screen as I am using the screen right now. Okay? If I go to the central district version of this report, what this does is that it takes me to, scroll this thing up a little bit, it takes me to the same report but as a summary for the central district of you, the leader. In this case, I'm using Gabi and I see all of her direct leaders. This is showing me a summary of each one of these leaders. The first leader in this case is showing the total sales that she's got in her central branch and the paid retail sales in her central branch and how many consultants have been sponsored in her central branch. If I click on her name, this will take me to her central branch information. So I'm able to then see how each one of her consultants is doing as I did in the first report that I looked at for you, in this case for myself, for Gaby Gutierrez. If I go back to Central District, the other thing that I will be looking at, and I forgot to mention this, I'm going to bring it back, is I'm going to be looking at the paid retail sales, the paid sales that is showing in this column, because I'm looking for at least 2,400. So if somebody doesn't have 2,400, that's a leader in my direct branch that I need to contact, so to encourage her to get to that number so she can meet her central branch requirements. So those are the two reports that show you retail sales, paid retail sales, and the number of new consultants sponsored in the branch. So you can drive these three fields with this group. The next set of reports is the account activity report. So I'm going to click on account activity report. And the first thing that shows up is this little circle, this little graph. And all it does is just showing you in a graphical way how many consultants you have in your branch. It shows 238 is the total number of eligible consultants to place an order in Gaby's branch. You will see that she's got 138 active. She's got 20 who are brand new, who have not placed an order yet, and she's got 80 who have not, who are inactive right now. So the report below shows you the same summary information by branch or by your central district, and also the personal level. So if you look at my central branch in this example, you can see the same number on paid retail sales and retail sales, and also the outstanding balance. And to the right, it shows you the summary in that branch's central branch in the number of active consultants, pre-inactive consultants, inactive, and not yet activated, okay? So what would I be using this file for? I will be looking again, I want to make sure that I achieve $2,400 in my paid retail sales. If I'm looking at my central branch, I'm going to click on central branch, and I'm going to now look at each one of the consultants in my central branch and look at two numbers. One, the retail sales and the paid retail sales, which allow me to see they have paid or they have not paid, and the balance, which allows me to see if they owe JAFRA some money. That's the potential that we can call that person to make those payments. So that's what this thing allows you. It also shows you the number of orders. Now, over here in the center, there is a column that calls status. And it shows you if the consultant is active or pre-inactive or inactive. I could click on these little flags, on these little arrows, and select, for example, I want to see my pre-inactive consultants. I click on the P, I click on filter, and then it shows me all of the pre-inactives again. I want to go back and see them all. I select them all, I filter, and it shows me all again. So again, this screen allows me to see my central branch and my consultants in my central branch, so I can see what their balance is for each one of them and give them a call. Okay? If I go to the same report and I look at central district activity, so I'm going to jump from central branch to central district activity, it's going to show me the same but in summary for all of my direct branches. It shows myself and all of my direct leaders and their central branch activity. So it shows me again the retail sales of my central branch, the paid retail sales of that central branch, and the total balance, JAFRA balance due in that month, and the number of orders. So if I click on any of these leaders, let's say if I click on Andrea Orista, which is the first one under Gaby, it's going to take me to Andrea Orista's central branch. And I'm going to see the same information that I saw on my personal branch, but for Andrea. Okay? My objective again is to get Andrea to have the paid retail sales and the sales as high as possible and meet the requirements of manager maintenance. So these are the main reports that you have in your ability. And by the way, all of the reports have the ability to export to Excel, export to PDF for you to be able to have it in print or to manipulate in Excel if you want to manipulate the data a little further. But you have all of the content information, all of the sales information, the sponsoring information, and the balance due within these two reports in activity and sponsoring and sales. I hope this helps you in navigating these new reports. They're very simple. I'm diligently working in getting more reports out to you, so we're working with the IT to get more data out to you. But for now, these reports who should help you in allowing to close your month, in getting new consultants to place orders, existing consultants to place orders, and people to make payments so you can meet all your goals. I hope you're working summer trip. We have amazing incentives in summer trip to earn summer trip. I hope to see you all in Miami. Have a great April close and an amazing May.